When we're looking for parallel lines, that means we're looking for lines that have the exact same slope. So the slope here is 4, the part right next to the x. So we just need to figure out which of these lines has a slope of 4. And the easiest way to find slope is to get y by itself. So on part A, 4x plus y equals 3. To get y by itself, we're going to subtract 4x on both sides. We get y equals negative 4x plus 3. That has a slope of negative 4, which is not what we're looking for. A is not the answer. So then let's move on to B. Can we get y by itself on B? Well, to do that, first step is to get the x's onto the other side. So we add 4x. This gives us 4y equals 4x plus 4. Now we're not done yet. We need y all the way by itself, so we have to divide by that 4. 4's cancel, 4's cancel, 4's cancel. We have y equals 1x plus 1. 1 is not the same slope as 4, so B is not the answer. Moving on to part C. Now for possible answer C. 8x minus 2y equals 3. We want y by itself, so first we're going to subtract the 8x over. 8x minus 8x cancels out. We have negative 2y equals negative 8x plus 3. We still need to get y by itself, so the next step is to divide by that negative 2. Cancels out to give us y. Negative 8 by negative 2 is 4, and that will stay a fraction. And that is the same slope as the 4 we were looking for. So C is the correct answer. If we're looking for an equation of a line, that means we're looking for y equals mx plus b. M is our slope, and to find the slope we can use the formula rise over run, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now to find slope we need 2 points. We've got one of the points is 1, 3. Let's make that x2 and y2. And then our other point is the origin. The origin is the exact center of a graph, is 0, 0. 3 minus 0 is 3, 1 minus 0 is 1, and 3 over 1 equals 3. So our slope is 3. Now we just need to find our letter b, and we'll be done. So y equals 3x plus b. And we know we need to have the point 0, 0 there, so we can plug that in. 0 for y, 0 for x, and then we could solve for b. 3 times 0 is 0, and b needs to equal 0. So your final answer for an equation of a line, you write y equals mx plus b, and you plug in the m, which is 3 for our problem, and then you'll plug in the b, which is 0, but you really don't need a plus 0, so that probably won't be part of the answer. We'll just have y equals 3x, and that's the answer. For this problem, we want to find out how many deluxe apartments we have, so we'll say we have x deluxe apartments. Now if there's 10 total apartments, and x of them are deluxe, how many are basic? Well, the rest of them. The whole 10 minus how many were basic, minus how many were deluxe. So if there were 3 deluxe apartments, you'd have 10 minus 3, or 7 basic apartments. If there were 8 deluxe apartments, you've got 10 minus 8, or just 2 basic apartments. And then let's make an equation out of that. So we have x deluxe apartments, and they each give us $900 in rent. And then we have how many? We have 10 minus x basic apartments. They each give us how much in rent? 800. And that needs to equal a total rent of 8,600. So that is our starting equation. Quantity times price plus quantity times price equals the total revenue we've got coming in. And then we'll solve this about the same way we would any kind of algebra equation. We want to start by simplifying. X times 900 is 900x. Here we've got to distribute the 800 out. 800 times 10 is 8,000. 800 times negative x is negative 800x. And then 900x minus 800x, that is 100x. Now we just have 1x, so we need to use our usual get x by itself steps. So if we've got a plus 8,000, we will use minus 8,000 to get rid of it. 8,000 minus 8,000 cancels out. We still have 100x on the left side. 8,600 minus 8,000 is 600. And then to get x by itself, last step, divide by 100. 600 divided by 100 is 6. We have 6 deluxe apartments. To find out how much fencing we need to figure out the lengths of the sides. And to do that, we'll use the square formula. Area equals side squared. So when the area is 3, your side is square root of 3. So each side of this first square is square root of 3. On the other hand, when your area is 27, then 27 equals s squared. To get rid of a square, you need a square root. And each side is square root of 27. So, the total amount of fencing, you need 4 sides that are each square root of 3. So that's 4 times square root of 3. And then you also need the bigger square here, and that has 4 sides that are each square root of 27. But we can simplify that. So 27 is in a square root. Anytime you want to simplify a square root, I recommend doing the factor tree. 27 is 9 times 3. 9 is 3 times 3. So 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. And in a square root, anytime that you have 2 of a kind, that brings 1 outside the square root. That 3 stays there, so the square root of 27 is really 3 square root of 3. Nothing else changed. And then we have 4 times 3. That will give us 12. 4 square roots of 3 plus 12 square roots of 3. Well, those are like terms. If you have square roots of 3 and some more square roots of 3, you can just add those up for a total of 16 square root 3. And that is the length of fencing that you need. Our first step on this problem is to rearrange it from a log equation into an exponent equation. You always do that the same way. The base comes straight down, and the other two switch. 10 to the power 4 equals x. And then we just need to work out 10 to the power 4. If you have 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, well, 10 times 10 is 100, times 10 is 1,000, times 10 is 10,000. That's 4 zeros when you have 10 to the 4th. And that is your answer. On this problem, we've got to find f of g of x. The big trick there is to plug the inside function into the outside function. So first of all, f of something is 3 something plus 2. Just whatever the x is in there, you plug into that spot there. And what's in there is the whole function g of x. Which means we need to put that whole function into where the x was in the f function. So we get x minus 2 over 3. And then we just need to simplify all of this stuff. So 3 x minus 2 over 3 plus 2. First step of simplifying, a divide by 3 and a times 3 will cancel out. If it helps, you can remember that a 3 is the same as 3 over 1, and top and bottom your fractions cancel. So that leaves us with x minus 2 plus 2. From there, minus 2 and plus 2 cancel out, leaving just x, and that is our answer. This problem is all about knowing the unit circle. So first of all, when they say if theta is acute, that just means that you are on quadrant 1 of the unit circle, where sine and cosine are both positive. And then if cosine is square root of 3 over 2, find sine of theta. Well, that one you just have to have memorized. That's at 30 degrees, where the cosine is root 3 over 2, and the sine is 1/2. And that just comes down to whether or not you have memorized your trigonometry. This is a factoring problem. So first thing you need to remember is how many 3w minus 2's is this? Well, it's one of them. It's not 4 of them, it's not 4w of them, it's one of them. And it helps to write that one here. Because the next step is that both of these things have 3w minus 2, so we will factor out that entire piece 3w minus 2. And what do you get when you factor out, when you divide out the 3w minus 2? Well, here 3w minus 2 cancels out. You're left with 4w. Here 3w minus 2 cancels out, and you're left with plus 1. And that is your answer. This problem is just about being able to factor out complicated looking things, which factor out just like simple x's would.